Have you ever heard of the saying, you are what you eat? Because it's not true. You are what you absorb. And a lot of the time, gut health, stress, sleep, training and dieting history, training currently, your nutritional status currently, it all plays a role in what you absorb from what you eat. And then we can start to look at when we worry about loose skin or cellulite or bingo wings, or what exercises are going to target this part of our body and that part of the body. All of those are the small rocks. All of those are the small rocks. You need to start focusing on the big rocks. But where do the big rocks go? You need to put them in a jar, right? That jar is your will to change. Not just saying it, but actually wanting to change and making the steps towards change. Then you got yourself a jar. Then you should fill it with the big rocks. How's your sleep? How's your stress management? How's your posture? Posture is a big thing, let me tell you that. Because if you're slouched over, if you're in a chronically stressed state, you'll have like that whole hunch look about you. If you're not confident enough, you know how people shrink down unconsciously. All of that's constricting your diaphragm. It's constricting your ability to breathe and get oxygen into your body. And oxygen, your aerobic system needs oxygen. Your metabolism needs oxygen. To be able to burn and oxidize fats and oxidize carbs, you need oxygen. So if you're not breathing deeply and getting oxygen into your body, you're severely cutting yourself short. And this is why I harp on about to my clients the importance of breathing. Also the importance of nourishing your body, because if you starve your body, that's a form of stress upon your body. That puts a whole damper on its ability to assimilate, to absorb, to metabolize, to actually optimize its hormonal functions. Because if your body isn't getting the nutrients and the energy it needs, it goes into survival mode. And survival is all about the survival of the fittest. It's about shutting down things that aren't absolutely necessary. You don't need to make babies. Reproductive system shuts down. There are so many things in your body that rely upon enough energy to get them functioning to its optimal capacity. Because if you're not going to put enough fuel into your body, it's just like putting canola oil into a car. It ain't going to run on that. You need to actually give it the fuel it needs. And another reason why I hate IIFYM, that's just like putting E10 or some really crappy mixed up fuel into a Lamborghini, which is your body, because your body is treasure. It's the only one you have. So you might as well put the right fuel in it. The optimal fuel. The expensive fuel. The fuel that's going to take it a longer way and give it a clean run. Because a lot of the time, if you fill it with E10 or the crappier fuels and you actually look inside the engine, it don't look that good. Trust me. I used to do the same to my car until I discovered what it was doing to my engine. And now I only give it actual unleaded 98. No E10 crap. So it depends on how much you treasure your body. Think about it that way. The big rocks. Once you look after the big rocks and have that jar in place, then you can start filling in the smaller rocks. And a lot of the time, you don't even have to think about the smaller rocks. They'll just fall into place just by focusing on the big stuff. Too many times we worry about what's the optimal training routine, what's the optimal meal we should have before a workout. Is it okay to eat before bed? Oh, but what food should we eat before bed? What should I do about my loose skin? What's the best protein powder? What's the difference between women's protein powder and men's protein powder? Which, by the way, is nothing. Protein's protein. Except the women's protein is usually slabbed with a hefty price tag that is absolutely ridiculous. But it all comes down to the same thing. It's just protein. It's a macronutrient. It's not even a supplement. If you're not able to get adequate protein, supplement with protein powder. It's the cheapest per serve. So instead of thinking about what can you add in to take your journey further, think about things that you can stop doing, things you can take out. Stop the processed junk, stop eating out takeout, stop adding cranberry juice to your meals, start having more water, stop having calorie-laden drinks, stop procrastinating, stop scrolling your social media at 9:30 p.m. when you should be sleeping because you have to wake up at 5 a.m. the next day. Stop doubting yourself. There's so many things that you can just stop doing so then you can replace them with better habits. So I'm going to ask you today, what are things that you can say no to so that you can say yes to more things that take you closer to the person that you want to be, closer to how you want to feel at the end of the year, reflecting back on the year. Because I just got off a consult not that long ago, and all this woman wanted was to feel alive again. She was worried about her aging and what was going to happen as she got older if life kept going the way it was, because she has a son. She has tried every diet under the sun. She has went low-calorie diet. She's brought her calories back up and her body still isn't changing. And she was worried about it. She was lacking energy. She's not able to train properly, and it's just stuff like that that really nags at my heartstrings, because there's so much shit out there you don't know what to believe. I mean, it's not that we're lacking any information, it's just like, what is the right information? And sadly, there's no Google search on how to actually Google for the right stuff and what stuff we should avoid, because it's just contradiction after contradiction, and no matter what you type in, you'll end up finding a list of studies to support your argument. Type in, why is keto bad? Or something like that, and you'll find a whole list of arguments. Type in, why should I do keto? And you'll find a whole list of reasons why you should do it. And then you'll have to wonder, what the fuck do I do? Do I do keto or not do keto? By the way, don't you dare do keto, it's stupid. Carbs are the best thing ever. And they make you feel good. And your body's primary fuel source is carbs. But even with a slight bias towards the fact that carbs are the best thing ever, a lot of the people who do keto don't do it right, and they end up with so many heart problems because they load themselves with saturated fats, a lot of micronutrient deficiencies, inadequate protein, performance slugs off, sex drive goes down. See, focusing on all these small rocks, on whether to go vegan, whether to go keto, what the fuck's carnivore, what diet trend's going to come up next month, what's the next new shiny thing Ashley Bynes is going to bring out. It's just the fact that you need to find one thing, simple, and commit to it. But a lot of the time, you'll find that people yo-yoing, jumping between this fad, the next fad, this diet, next diet. By the end of it, they've not only exhausted themselves of money and time, but they probably don't even have faith in themselves anymore to actually stick to something. They've lost hope to even try again. So whenever someone reaches out to me, I just want to give them the biggest hug ever. because it takes a lot of faith and it takes a lot of courage to reach out just that one more time. And a lot of the time it's when people have just had enough of the diet fads out there. And that's why I am so active on my socials, because I know what it's like to be so confused. I know what it's like to not be in control of everything that you want to be in control over, because it's like you're in a debate with yourself. So think about that. What are you going to say no to so that you can say yes to more things? And then what are you going to be saying yes to? Hello, my wonderful, wonderful, strong friends. So, gym anxiety, confidence, it's becoming a very, very hot topic as of late, and it hits home because we all start off that way, but there's just so many occasions where we forget how we once started. And because we're so, because newbies and people just starting out, maybe people like you, starting out in the gym or looking on social media, seeing how confident people are, you end up in this whole comparison game, wishing you were other people, wishing you could be confident like other people, without realizing that others too started where you were. Well, at least I did. And I'm forever grateful for this guy that took me out of my comfort zone, because he just saw me plugging away at the elliptical, this 37 kilo girl just plugging away at the elliptical, because all I wanted to do was stay in my comfort zone upstairs. Like, I knew how I should train, at least to the textbook, because I studied exercise sports science in uni. So here I am knowing that 3 to 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps is pretty much hypertrophy, and I wanted to grow muscle. So I just stuck to the same stuff upstairs. I did not at all like the man machines. That's what I called them, literally. I called them man machines. And I didn't want to be seen at the gym or have people that I didn't know judge me, because I felt like people would be judging some skinny girl in the gym, like she has no weight to lose, why does she need to be there, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, it was hard. But I had a cousin that showed up with me, and until I started seeing my own results and taking selfies for my damn self, like I would take selfies, like in the bathroom obviously, because I didn't want to have people see me like taking selfies. And I used to film myself, like literally I used to like feel my biceps and be like, oh, my biceps are growing. I used to like feel all the tiny little muscles, and I used to flex them, and just like refocusing on the little wins, and even just going from curling a 3 kilo dumbbell to curling a 5 kilo dumbbell in the matter of a couple of weeks was just massive to me. And that's one really great motivating thing about starting off training, is that your strength increases are pretty damn amazing to start with. And you see changes pretty much immediately, as in number-wise, because the first thing to adapt are your neural adaptations. So you end up getting stronger pretty much from the get-go if you apply yourself to a proper program for yourself and stay consistent. Now the physical changes, they take a while. They take a long while. They take a very, very long while, and that's also because you see yourself on the daily and you can't really expect to see changes immediately. But over time you'll start to feel different in your clothes, and that's another thing, like people need to stop focusing solely on the scale as well, because the scale weight changes all the time. And so like if all you want to drop is scale weight, stop freaking eating carbs for a whole day and you'll drop a whole bunch of water weight. Start eating them again and you're back up to the original weight. No, you did not lose fat. no, you did not gain fat in 2 days. That is just ridiculous. Like, there is so much more to progress than just looking at specific numbers. Like, you have to look at the whole picture. Like, are you pooping well? Are you sleeping well? What's your stress like? But you can have all of these markers perfect, but if you don't work on the number one thing, which is your mindset, what do all these markers mean to you? And you need to keep asking yourself questions on how is it that you want to feel, and what is it that makes you feel that way? What hobbies can you find? What are you most passionate about? By being able to live your life as an all-inclusive thing and not make the gym or the diet or the scales or certain numbers just everything that you're about, it helps so much. And like for me, for example, I did start off like that, and your identity and your programming, it is so powerful. It can just grasp you and drag you downwards until you identify it and become conscious of it. And that's when you become consciously incompetent. You know that you're at a stage where you need to start improving things. And I was at that stage where I knew that I needed to change my identity, and it was scary. I went from that whole everyone needs to see me lean. Everyone's used to seeing me like this strong, lean girl in the gym, lifting heavy weights and all of this other stuff. And to jump into powerlifting where that wasn't a focus anymore. And I guess realizing what it is that makes you feel a certain way and just going for it. And that's why in my inner circle, there's the theme fuck it February, because a lot of the time we're too afraid to just say fuck it and do it anyway. We're too worried about other people's judgments. We're too worried about just bettering ourselves. We're too worried about everything that we shouldn't be worried about. And we're just like, we're planning ahead. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? It's like, no, have some faith in yourself. You'll cross the bridge when you come to it, and you have no idea what might be on the other side. And it was honestly the best thing that I have ever done, because it gave me my power back. It gave me control back over my life. I was no longer trudging away at the gym. I had more structure to what I was doing, and I was actually being authentic. And my theme for those 2 years starting off powerlifting was authenticity. Being authentic, because I was preaching all of this stuff, yet there I was just like trudging away, doing everything that I was so used to doing. And all I feel now is freedom from just, it takes time, but it is so, so powerful. And I guess that's all I really want to say is just feel the fear, do it anyway, and have some faith that you can work it out along the way. Because trying to plan out all the tidbits, trying to plan for the future full of what ifs, trying to aim for perfection, trying to want everything right now. I mean, the thing is, you're a beginner. And just like in the gym, you're a beginner then too. And sometimes you just need to say, fuck it. Because if you don't start, there's no way that you can improve on something. There's no way you can start to build something wonderful if there is no foundation. So you just need to get started. Just build yourself and focus on being the best version of yourself, because soon you're going to build up that fortitude, that resilience. You're going to have your identity, because it's all about creating yourself. You're the artist. You hold the crayon. Pick all the colors you like. Make it a colorful story, not a black and white story, because as soon as we take our focus off perfection and old programming and old beliefs and start to actually just live life and realize how good we feel once we do the right things, fuel ourselves, nourish ourselves, sleep, look after our stress management, and focus on the stuff that matters, and use health and fitness as a way to boost our lives and improve our lives, mate, you'll just be unstoppable.